Hi everybody, welcome. Today I am going to talk to you more on the subject of coaching than on styling. I know I do a lot on tips on what to wear and makeup and tutorials and all of that, but I'm also an image coach, and a big part of being a coach is dealing with what's going on inside us. It's not just all about the outside, right? It's the inside has so much to do with the way we externalize, and whatever we're holding on to is what shows up in our persona, in our image, in the way we project ourselves to other people. So we have to start with what we're feeling on the inside, and we have to be okay with who we are, right? Because looking great is wonderful. Everybody wants to look good. Everybody wants to feel great. Everybody wants to project a positive image and dress nicely. And, there's billions of people in the world learning how to do their hair, makeup, clothing. Instagram, YouTube, everywhere you look, there's information out there, right? And there's overloads of it. But none of that is really going to hold its value if you really don't feel good about yourself internally. And if you're feeling insecure, or you're feeling judgment, or you're judging others, that's going to come out in your image. And you can be rest assured people will pick that up. And oftentimes that's one of the reasons people don't come across confident, is because they're thinking too much about what everyone else is thinking of them. Now, I want to just give you an example of myself. I know it sounds very preachy when you hear coaches talk about that, like it's such an easy thing to do, right? To just not care about what anyone thinks of you, and to feel great about yourself and always be positive. And everybody's preaching about positive affirmations and love yourself, and not worry about what people think and don't care and all that. But it's not as easy as it seems, is it? And we all struggle with it. Even coaches struggle with it. Even therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, people that are educated, they all deal with it at one time or another. And I'll just give you an example of what I was going through myself personally a little while ago when I was doing some of the videos for all of you. I was doing some tutorials on makeup, and at one point, I looked in the mirror and I saw lines on my face that I haven't seen before, or maybe I had seen them minimally, and I don't know if it's because my skin was a little dehydrated today, or it's the foundation I was wearing, or if it's just really old age setting in and I'm starting to get more lines on my face. But whatever it is, it definitely set me off, and I was triggered. I definitely felt this urge to just shut down and hide, and like a panic came over me for a moment. I was like, oh my God, like where did those lines come from, and what am I going to do now, and how am I going to shoot videos, and what am I going to put on my face to hide this, and I better go drink some water, and I better hydrate, and da 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 da. And it started to really just go from there. And then I realized, wait a minute, hold on a second, get a grip here. You are being triggered. Something has triggered you. Something set me off that made me feel insecure. And for me, I know there are things, and we all have this from our past, that come up and haunt us sometimes. And those are either limiting beliefs that we don't think we're capable of being something or someone, or there's something that's stopping us from, being what we want to be, or doing or achieving what we want, because we think about our past and whatever was in childhood that might have, been an issue then still comes up for us. So, for instance, if your parents didn't give you accolades, right? If you never got a pat on the back, or your parents never told you you did a good job, you might grow up being an overachiever, right? Because you're always trying to overcompensate because you never got that as a child. And for me, I know I had a very critical parent. One of my parents, my father, was very critical and very artistic. And he saw everything with a very critical eye. He was a very detail-oriented person, and he could, pick up if somebody had surgery or they were wearing a toupee or whatever it was. My father was very fast to point it out. So I grew up under that scrutiny, and I carry that with me. And I have to work at recognizing when that comes up for me, because the second it does, I start to think, it's like, okay, my self-worth becomes diminished because I don't look as good as I want to look, or I think that I should look, or I did look in the past, right? So I go right to that place where, oh my God, like my image represents who I am, or what I'm all about. And you know what? That's not the truth, right? I know that deep down, I know that I'm a good person. I'm better than just what I look like. And it's great to look great and feel good and everything. But if somebody was to see that I had lines or wrinkles, or my skin was sagging, or I didn't, correct something that I was born with, whatever, would that mean that they would like me any less, or I would be any less of a person to people that really got to know me and really loved me, or, anybody that really cared about me? Would that really matter that much? Probably not, right? I know it wouldn't matter to me. If my best friend started getting lines or wrinkles or whatever it was, I wouldn't care, because I still love her for who she is. I still know her, who she is inside, and I know she's a good person, and I know she cares about everybody, and she makes me laugh. I feel good when I'm around her, and on lots of my other friends as well. So I know that I could walk into someone's house and not see the dust balls on the floor, but when I'm in my own house, I'll see them right away. So what I'm trying to say is that we all have our demons, and we all have the thoughts that pop in our head that are negative self-talk, and we need to recognize them when they come up. And it's okay to have them. Everyone's going to have them. They're still going to be there. But being conscious of it is the first step. And if you can catch yourself when you start to go into that mode of negative self-talk, that's the best time to think outside the box and start saying to yourself, well, what's another scenario? What's another way to see this, right? Is it necessarily true what I'm feeling? Why am I feeling this? What triggered me? And to recognize the first thing is that something triggered you to feel that way. And then to go back a little ways and say, well, where did that come from? Where did those thoughts come from? Did they come from me? Did they come from a parent? Did they come from a sibling? Did they come from a teacher or a peer? And when did they first start to appear in my life, those thoughts? And as you start to unravel it, it's like an onion. As you go through the layers, you're going to start to see that there are things that trigger those thoughts in the past that come up for you. And you have to let go of those blocks that are holding you back. So that's what I had to do today for myself. And that's what I suggest you do as well when you get those moments where you get terrorized by something sets you back. Just stop yourself and get quiet for a minute, and just listen to what that inner voice is telling you. Where is that coming from? And how can I recreate that? What's another way to see this? What's another lens I could put on that would not come up with the same feelings? So for me, it's, hey, listen, that's okay. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to show everybody and talk about this today, because that's going to make me feel better, because I'm sharing it with everyone else. And you know what? I know that lots of us feel that way. I'm not alone. And I wanted to share that with you so you know you're not alone. And it's okay. It's okay if we're not perfect. And that was really hard for me, because I am perfectionistic by nature. But letting go of that it really feels good. I feel like I got that off my chest now. And you know what? If you see my lines and wrinkles, it's okay. I'm okay with it in this moment. I'm not saying that I'm not going to do everything I can to look my best, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with who I am. And I hope you are too. So that's really what I wanted the takeaway to be today, is I just want you to think when you get those feelings come up for yourself, think about how you can stop that progression and pause for a moment and become conscious of what you're feeling and where it came from, and what another way to see that situation, another perspective is besides the one that you're feeling. okay? Because there's always another one. There's always another way that you could feel. There's another way you could think. And only you can stop yourself from thinking the same thoughts over and over. Only you could become aware and say, I'm not going to think those thoughts anymore. I'm going to think this way instead. And therefore, when you think those thoughts, which are positive thoughts, your reaction is going to be different. And you're going to create a different life for yourself, because over time, you're reacting differently and thinking differently and rewiring your brain by doing that over and over. It will become your default to become more positive. So try it. It takes time and effort and awareness, but it's definitely pays off, and it's good to share things with each other too. I think it really helps when we talk about things to other people and people we care about. So let me know your thoughts. I hope this helps, and I will talk to you soon.